Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Dracovin Empire. I hope you're having a great day. Are you ready to dive back into the world of darkness and the world of Changeling The Dreaming? I hope you are, because take my hand. I, your host here at the Dracovin Empire, Cantus Narrath Dracovin, will lead you through the mists and shadows to a world very similar to our own. World of strange creatures, darkness. So why don't you take my hand, and always remember to give some support to the channel, subscribing the bell, etc. As we dive into the world of change, of dreams, in amongst the darkness. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the Morganic, a subgroup of Merfolk. Now, if I were to learn about the Morganic, where would I research it deeper? Where would I be able to find some of this information I speak of? There are two places that I can suggest. The Changeling The Dreaming 20th Anniversary book has stuff on the Morganic, and another book which I'm going to really butcher how this is said, the Guina de Lineages la Cantrip para Changeling el Ensigno, were translated from the Spanish title for that book, Guide to Lineages for Cantrips and Changelings The Dreaming. That is the second book here on the side. It is a Spanish language book that also provides a couple of pages worth of information on the Morganic. There isn't a lot on these. Not a lot on the Morganic, but we have enough that we can speak about them and let you know if you are interested in playing and how to play with them. So who are these French sub-mermaids? Well, they are easily described sirens, or at least in the mythical nature of them, they would be described as that. The idea of sailors piled the waves on small boats, knowing that they would never see their home again. The sea called to them the beauty, the mystery, and the Morganic were born of the dreams of those who look at the sea with longing, desperate to know what lies beyond the hidden and hides in the shadowy depths. That's the kind of dreams they come from. Humans forgot their reverence of the ocean and found what they treasures. Plastics, choking places, starved sea creatures, acidification leaving dead zones, and within the peril, the Morganan seek to return respect to the ocean, to the inhabitants of the land. Sealy try to reawaken a sense of wonder about the deep, while Unsealy try to remind people that if the ocean dies, the land isn't too far behind. So neither necessarily a violent mass necessarily about moving, but it's like, oh, wonder, and it's like, oh, if the ocean goes, you go too. Most inhabit the kingdom of tides off the coast of Brittany, and among the sea fairies, they are those who are most involved with the mortal world. So I've did a video about Merfolk toward the end, but yeah. So related to them, the Morganan have not renounced their ties that bind them to their rulers, the Sidhead, who rule with some circumspection, fearing an uprising would bring them down as easily as a blow of the sea. On the other hand, the sea is a very demanding lover. Portions of the Kingdom of Tides in France has provided an unexpected political role for the Morganic. Contrary to most other aquatic changelings, they have retained many contacts among lineages that live on the surface. It's not uncommon for many to take human form and take advantage of the night to visit the mainland. So, when I talk about Merfolk, they're very hands-off from the land in their own. The Morganan, as a cousin to the Merfolk, are more in between both. They have unique natures that make them their own thing, you can see here. Yeah. Mysteries. Unfathomable. That is what kind of describes the elements of the Morganic. They have a very unpredictable nature. They're often melancholy. They're also capable of showing great anger, legendary among other Kith. Like the tide that advances and retreats eternally. They're very stubborn, and they tend to be tenacious and bitter. On the other hand, they are faithful in their friendship. And they, for that very reason, detest traitors and perjurers. They're very respectful of their companions, but also very jealous of them too. Those who are seducing one of these seductive naiads are exposed to the anger of their peers. Be careful on that one. They're undisputed in their ownership of the ocean. They fiercely defend their freedoms and do not appreciate mortals too much, whom they consider responsible for the ills of the sea. The Unsealy members of this Kith would attack imprudent swimmers to avenge sacrilege of humanity. over the centuries. So, yeah, if they get into a situation where they're like, I could take you, the sea could just take you, which would be me in this case, for all the crap your people, your species has done, they'll do it. They're defenders of the environment, and they're increasingly involved with man regarding the defense of the coast and the seabeds, threatened by, of course, real estate and tourism and all these kind of things. Amongst the waves, they are playful and vivacious. They like to sunbathe and spend hours lying on beaches on rocks that stick out of the coast, mixed with crabs and sea birds. So, again, they are also known as sirens, I mentioned from the beginning. They're lithe, graceless creatures that exclude sensuality and desire. Their skin glistens from blue to emerald green, and their eyes are large, dark orbs split with vertical pupils. According to the mood change, the skin can vary from jade to blue-gray colors, which announce their anger. In the same way, their hair can take a variety of shades, ranging from black and green. Apart from these, the Morgan lack lower limbs, replaced by a flexible, dynamic caudal appendage, which resembles the tritons and mermaids. So they look very much like mermaids. They often work as professional divers, oceanographers, marine biologists, sailors, fishermen, lighthouse keepers, hermits, ecologists, port workers, anything that lets them bridge the gap between the people and the ocean. And again, we have to remember they are probably more, unlike the merfolk, which are staying in amongst themselves. Morganan will, if they get with a surface dweller, they get with a surface dweller. They'll spread their blood. For their seemings, their childlings are playful. Young Morganan like to lay on rocks under permissive gaze of their elders. Their large wet eyes betray their almost meticulous curiosity that is hard to betray. As wilders, they're used to the living in the community. They're also used to hard physical activity. They like to gather in schools and travel near fishermen, surfers, windsurfers. Males have slender and athletic silhouettes, while females have perfect breadths and figures that would condemn a sea. As a grump, when they grow older, they prefer the ocean depths of the coasts. They prefer to lose themselves in contemplation of the mysteries that exist under the sea instead of wasting time in celebration, and celebrations celebrated by the nobility. Physically, their skin becomes increasingly scaly and emits a strange, strong ocean smell. Of their birthright, they have two abilities, Born of the Sea and Song of the Sea. Born of the Sea, while immersed in waters, their legs merge to become a caudal fin, similar to that of merfolk. So yeah, the pressure of the ocean doesn't affect them, and they're able to hold their breath for 5 minutes for full stamina. In Oceans of the Dreaming, they can breathe water as much as air. And then they have a siren song that's captivating, haunting melody, which can manipulate people. Their frailty is bound to the sea. They can dry out wither if they're away for too long from the ocean. They lose glamour if they don't immerse themselves for at least an hour in salt water per day. So it's unfortunate that they are really ocean-bound, but they can go on land. They are unique in that way. There's something a little bit different from mermaids. And the idea of the mermaids that come to land and transform into humans comes from Morganan more than merfolk. Yes, we do have merfolk that can do the same. But when we discussed and talked about merfolk in particular in the previous video, I could easily say that they are much more unique and different. Merfolk are to themselves, they don't really deal with land, only as much as they see if they need to. Morganan are the Fae, which fortunately kind of come up with a lot of these legends about merfolk because, yeah, when they're in the ocean, they look a lot like them. They look very close to it. But they're the ones that can transform into people and go on land. And, it's the unique nature of being both of land and water, which is different than that of something like a merfolk, makes them a very unique kith. And a bridge between these two areas when it comes to the existence of the aquatic kith. They are that kind of bridge between land and water. A connection between these two. And you can definitely see it in their nature. They connect the two. But again, they are of the tide, they are of the shore, they are of the waves coming in and out, the emotions of it all, the effects of it all, and that is the existence that are the Morganan. You see fairies that are most likely to be encountered. We'll leave that there. That was a very simple little thing there, and because I've already done a video on one of the ocean-based kith, that's why this works a little bit better to go into it now, because they are, in a way, related to them. They are another Kith. And again, we considered them, in a way, a sub-group of Merfolk. Something a little different. And, most of them are found within the French coast. So very French, too. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean you can find them in other places in the sea where people have longed and looked and wondered about its endless edges. That's the mystery. More organic. So I hope you enjoyed diving into these, learning about them, and training into them. Hey, remember to do all the things to support this video. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave me a comment. And this comment can go either, we can discuss it as we're done here with Twitch, which I'm live with, or over on my YouTube channel afterwards. If you played Changeling, or, had a chance to, are you interested in more game? Would you play more game? It does have some disadvantages with having to soak yourself for an hour in the ocean. It'd be kind of interesting too. And what's your opinion on them as a idea? Does it give you any kind of character ideas or something? I've come up with some interesting ideas out of them. Much more than Merfolk, because Merfolk requires a lot more steps for, being out of their society. Well, since Morgans are on the fringe of this, and actually are known to go between the two of them, I think that's why it makes them a little bit more unique in this case. You have a good excuse to be online. Of course, remember to, as I said, all the give the support. I have social media linked below, Discord and Twitter/X. My own content will be coming together with these guys soon. Put that in the links when I do. I keep just not doing it, and I should. Schedule. I put it up on all my social media places and on YouTube, so you can check out the social media up on YouTube for a schedule for the week. It includes normal upload times for any videos that are going to be coming out for the week, and of course for schedules for the Twitch streams when you can join live. Those are relatively correct, but I have a kind of bunch of stuff inside things that I do for life, home and stuff, so it's usually whenever I can get things started, and it's relatively good time-wise. The schedule is at least good. But you can always check out my social media to see if there's been changes to that schedule or updates, especially if it's little things that have changed when we started. I do keep people informed about that, as much as I remember to. I have a bad memory. I'll try to work on it. Remember, check out Crimson Queen later on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Live play Pathfinder 1st Edition, my current live play RPG, and discuss K-pop Saturdays at 6. Talk about news of the week and do discussion. And I think that's all the main things to talk about, and I have to shout out here. So, hey, just remember those various things like subscribing the bell, follow over on Twitch, all that kind of great stuff to support the channel. I'm shouting it out probably a third time, but all those things help. All those things are little things to help out the channel. And there might be some other stuff I can do in the future to help increase the channel. I'll look into things. But, until the next time we chat, dive into any of this, learn about some more tabletop, some interesting tabletop topics, I do bid all of you adieu and wonderful farewell.